This video will look at setting up your work stages for your Architect Pro account. Now on this particular account there is a number of default work stages set up already, and I can show you how to set up default work stages. If I click into the settings page and I come to setup options, default work stages. So you'll see here that there's the RIBA work stages from 0 to 7. So if I was to set up a new job, if I was to come in here back to my projects page, click on new project and add in as much detail or as little detail as I need to on any particular job. Of course I do need to add in the project name and the client name, so if I just put in that this one is a test project and I put in the client name of Mr. Test and I click on save details. So you'll see here, click on default groups below to add those stages, or click new work stages above for ad hoc stages. So as it says, if I want to use the RIBA stages, click on that and the RIBA work stages pop in onto this project for myself. If I don't want to use these work stages, I'll just select delete all there, and I wanted to add in my own stages for this particular project, I would just select new work stage, put in the description, the fee and the order. Now there is another option here, hours by task, which allows you basically to project the amount of hours that each user type would have on a particular job. Not every user or not every account would use this option, but it is available if you so wish. And of course, if you wanted to use this option here on the RIBA stages, I'm just going to close that and click on RIBA. And then click on edit on each one of those steps, and then that pops in terms of the description, the fee, the order, and then again you have your hours by task. So for example, if I was to put in my fee of say 15,000 and click on save, what the system will do is it'll recognize that there is a fee of strategic definition of 15,000. Now when users start to log hours, they have a user type rate, as you might have seen in the video on logging hours, and basically what the system will start to do is it'll recognize the hours being inputted by the user, and it'll calculate a fee against that, and it'll then show you how much you've spent of that 15,000 depending on how many hours were logged by specific user types. In terms of this position here, if you wanted to go down the way of projecting your costs in terms of hours spent on the project, if I just go back and click on edit and I put in, say that the technician had to spend 5 hours, designer had to spend 2, and the director had to spend 1 hour, and click on save, that'll calculate an overall cost of £580, and then you'll be able to see what those hours are and the profit margins. So if I was to click on edit and add in any other information, so say 15 hours from the associate, 12 hours from the office manager, and then say 6 hours from the senior associate, click on save, and that would up the cost of the overall step, and also it would decrease your profit margin. So that just gives you an overall idea of how you might project hours and also how to put fees in against these work stages. Now if I wanted to, I'm just going to delete those again, click OK. If I wanted to have another grouping more than just the RIBA stages, if I go into settings and click on setup options and click on default work stages, and I want to put in an extra step, or an extra group should I say, I can go to new stage, I can put in the description. So if I wanted to say initial design, and I wanted to put in stage of 0, fee percentage I'm going to leave blank, and group name then I'm going to put in test, and click on save, and you can see it is after being added. I'm going to put in another step there, detail design, stage order number 1, so you have stage order number 0 and stage order number 1. Again, I'm going to put in the test group name, click on save, and I'll just put one more in, developed. Sorry. page order number 2 and the tests as the group name. Click on save, so you'll see that you have your RIBA default groupings and then you have your test default groupings. If I just come back into my project section here and just click into the new project that I've added, which was test, and I go to my work stages and I go to edit work stages, and then I have the option of test or the RIBA, so I can select either one. So if I select the RIBA as previous, they all pop in and I can start to edit them in terms of the fee and the hours by task in terms of the user types. If I don't want to use those guys, I can delete them and I can select test, and there's the 3 stages that I just created there, and I can edit that and put in the different fees against those. So that's a quick overview on how to use the work stages. If you want to log hours against those work stages, then just be sure on the settings tab that the use work stages as activity has been ticked. So if I go back in, if I just show you very quickly to this test project, work stages, initial test, detailed design and develop design I've set up, and then if I go to my projects and log hours and select the project there, so if I want to come down and select the test project, there's the 3 options there: initial design, detailed design and develop design. And if you want to know any more about the login hours section, make sure to check out the other video called login hours on the YouTube channel.